So let's talk about some other creation methods inside 3D Studio Max, and let's start with the box. So when I click on the box, you can see there is an option of creation method, and under that we have two further options. First one is the cube, and second one is the box. So when I switch to the cube, and if I click inside my viewport and drag my mouse, you can see I can create the box on a fly. And if I switch back to the box, I have to click drag for the length and for the width as well, and then let go my mouse and then drag for the height. So the end results are basically both are the boxes. So it's all up to you that you want to create a box or you just want to create a cube having all the sides equal. Uh, the the main thing you have to keep in mind that sometimes it's easy to create just a cube and then go into the modify tab and dial in the length, width, and height without wasting any time. So the other method is if I click on the box again, under this creation method rollout, we have keyboard entry rollout. And if I expand that, you can see there are some bunch of options. So if I just delete all of these boxes and restart again, under the keyboard entry rollout, we have X, Y, and Z, length, width, and height. So what does these X, Y, and Z means? As we can see that 3D Studio Max is basically a coordinate-based software. So which means we have a Cartesian plane inside our software. And these black lines on the grid are basically the main X and Y axis, and the point where these two black lines intersect is basically the origin. So notice when I move my cursor near to this intersection point, my X, Y, Z down on the status bar, X, Y, and Z coordinate values are almost zero. And if I drag my mouse to either side of the Y axis, the values will increase or decrease accordingly with a plus or a minus sign. So these values X, Y, and Z here are basically those coordinates. If I want to create a box exactly on the origin, so I just type or uh, keep this values 0, and whatever the size I want to create for the box, I will just dial in, like say 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and hit the create button. So when I hit this create icon, you can see that I have a box of 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters on exactly this location, which is basically the origin. So X, Y, and Z are 0 on for all the three axes. And if I have to draw a box which is 20 centimeters away from on the x-axis, so what I have to do is just dial in 20 centimeters on the x-axis and hit create button. So this will automatically create a box which is 20 centimeters away from the origin. So all the values, all the objects which 3ds Max is going to calculate for you as the origin, as the center of the object, uh, so that will be an absolute value, not the relative value. So, which is very important to keep in mind. We will discuss this thing in the later videos.